Good afternoon and welcome back to San Antonio, Texas, as we've got the rubber match between the Kane Cougars and the Trinity University Tigers here. Game 3 of the series, postponed from yesterday, and we've got decent weather here today as we've got the 6-3-1 Kane Cougars and the 6-4 Trinity Tigers, both ranked in the top 10 of the D3Baseball.com poll. I'm Josh Michigamba. I will take you through today's action, and we'll get started off with the Kane lineup, and it doesn't look too much different than what we've seen in the first two games. At short, leading off is going to be Dominic Messino. He'll be followed by Justin Teixeira, and right, Michael Simone, the designated hero, but third in the cleanup spot. Jude Clough at catcher. Tyler Stone batting fifth and left. Dan Riesel in the sixth spot batting or at first base. At third base, it'll be Brett Hilsheimer, and center and batting eighth, Mike Colanello, and ninth, it'll be the second baseman, Nick Sorelli, and they will be going up against a first-time Trinity pitcher here for the Tigers, making his debut, Matthew Azordigan. And get the game just about underway here on a Monday afternoon here in San Antonio. Messino will step in, 333 on the year. And that one in for a called strike. Second offering missing high. Two teams have split their opening two games. And might look at the records and see 6-3-1 and 6-4, and hear that they're both still top 10. Probably will be both right around the top 10, maybe top 15 mark. This counts now 2-1. Both playing really strong schedules to start the season. Both members of the Final Sight College World Series a year ago. Kane trying to find some of that early magic that they had on Friday night. Skied to the inner infield. Stepping underneath will be Jack Ramsey at short. He'll take it. We've got one away. That'll bring up Teixeira. Shade under 400 on the young season. Both these teams played a quarter of their year so far. You're allowed 40 games in the regular season. Both have played 10. Delay. Teixeira stepped out, and he steps back in. That one sent on a line out to left field, giving chase and making the catch will be Anthony Susha. There are two down here. Really quick work from Matthew Azordigan. That'll bring up the 3 spot. Michael Simone. 409 on the year, and he's had a pretty good series so far here in San Antonio. One catching the outside part of the plate. Now behind 0-2 will be Simone. Zordigan delivers. Try to get him to chase. No luck. It'll be 1-2. Tigers have not had a lot of 1, 2, 3 innings on the season so far. Get one here in the first, and that's a nice breaking ball in for a called strike 3. And that will be the top of the first, and that'll send us to the break, and we'll be back with the Trinity lineup in just a moment. Welcome back here to San Antonio, and Trinity lineup will be Kellen Sinhanya leading off in center field, followed by John Ramsey at short. Will Baker in the 3 spot at first. Sawyer Haynes getting the cleanup spot today. He's over at second base. He'll be followed by the third baseman, Grant Anderson, in the 6th spot. The DH, Michael Listina. Anthony Susha already making a defensive play out in left. He'll bat 7th. Pierce Matthews in right will bat 8th, and Matthias Riding is behind the plate, and he will bat 9th, as Tigers will look to get something going against Lucas Wright, the sophomore out of Monroe Township. 1-1 on the year, 4.67 ERA, 17 and third innings pitched. Solid 10-6 strikeout to walk ratio here in Division III, and 1.38 WHIP. So that will be what Sinhanya has to go against. The Tigers 1-2-3 inning in the top half of the first, looking to maybe get something going offensively, something else that they haven't really been able to do early in games. Get the bats going. Already had strong defense for the first time in what feels like all season to lead us off. Back in the lineup today after Caleb Woodward made an appearance on Saturday, and a big appearance, had a home run. He's been dealing with some injuries throughout the season. It looks like he's back on the bench, so I hope that he recovers well. Tigers with some solid backups behind him. 250 on the year. Now the count runs even 2-2. Stays alive. And the 2-2 from White. Misses just high, and it'll run full. And the payoff pitch. In there for a called strike 3. Sinhanya down on strikes. Nice little breaking ball on full count here from Lucas White. And one of the big things the Tigers have done this year is look at a lot of called strike threes. And that'll bring up John Ramsey. One of the things he's done this year is hit a couple of home runs. He's got 2 on the year, batting .421, 8 RBIs. Had a pretty big at the time home run. And Friday night's game against Kane hit a 3-run shot as that one's fouled off. Make it 0-2. 3-run shot on Friday night made it a 6-5 game. Gave Tigers some life. They were down 4. They could not scratch across another. Kane took the opener of the series, and Lucas White, back-to-back strikeouts here to open this one. That'll bring up Will Baker, see if he can do anything. The 2 righties striking out. Now the left-handed Baker stepping in. 378 on the year. 8 runs, 9 RBI, and a home run. In for a strike. Both teams bouncing back defensively pretty early after yesterday's hold and wait, as they originally scheduled for a 2 o'clock start, and that got pushed back to 4 o'clock, and that got pushed back to 5:30, and then ultimately pushed to today. Swing and a miss, 1-2. And had we started at 5:30, we would have been in some serious delay. It's about 6 o'clock. There were lightning strikes within the 8-mile radius that would have kept us from playing any further. Would have delayed us till probably at least 8 o'clock, 8:15, and maybe try to get it going again. So. Good call to just scrap it all and come out here today where we had some dense fog early on. That one roped up to center field, and that will fall for a base hit. Well, Baker with the game's first hit. And the Tigers have a man on with 2 down. As Sawyer Haynes will step in the cleanup spot. It's 273 on the young year for him, but he's had a couple of hits in this series. He's had a good enough approach to allow Coach Scannell to slot him in the 4 spot today. White's first pitch misses high. The 1-0 catches the outside part of the plate and evens the count. White with a glance back over to Baker at first. Tails off out of the zone, now 2-1. Baker not a super big threat to steal, especially with 2 outs. Taking a very marginal lead over at first. 2-1 in there for strike 2. Both White and Zordiga working the inside part of the plate here in the first inning, getting the call. Now the 2-2, runner goes. That one hit out to right field, drifting back at the wall, looking up, and it is gone. Sawyer Haynes with a 2-run shot here in the first inning for the Tigers. Not a terrible lot of wind to speak of, especially compared to what we've seen all weekend. He drives that one opposite field. And it gives the Tigers the early first inning lead. Take another look at it. Outside part of the plate, just kind of goes with it. Just pure raw power, clipping the fence around the 320 spot. And that'll bring up Grant Anderson now. And obviously the Tiger coaching staff seeing something in Sawyer Haynes that we hadn't seen in a game yet, showing the raw power. Check swing. Yes, he did. It'll be 1-2. Now after a single to center and a home run, Lucas White, after first two batters struck out, trying to get out of the inning. A little comebacker. Will take it himself and throw over to first, and that will be the bottom of the first. Trinity strikes first with a 2-run shot from Sawyer Haynes. We'll be back in just a moment. Welcome back. Top of the second inning, and it will be Jude Clow stepping in, trying to get something going here for Kane. And joined once again by Shepard Tyler. Welcome in here as we are underway. An eventful first inning for the Tigers. Went 3 up, 3 down with Zornigan making his debut for Trinity. And then Sawyer Haynes with a 2-run shot with 2 outs, giving the Tigers 2-0 lead.
Pretty eventful inning.
That one is popped up and be out of play. Make it 1-2. Sounds like that one hit the roof. We are not on the roof today.
So we won't be able to count them.
Won't be able to count the hops the way that Cole does. Down in the control room, we got a couple of monitors going and trying to run replay. Mentioned the other day the replay system was a little finicky. That one sent on a line but foul down the first base side. So being here trying to run replays when we can, and got nice view of the live stats going, and a huge shout out to Kane for their sports information department helping out with a lot of the stats here today. Weren't expecting to play here on Monday, so everybody kind of chipping in and doing what we can. Hobbled over to Anderson, but it'll go foul.
Yeah, it's a pretty nice setup down here. I got to say, I do prefer the roof.
Yeah. When you get a chance to enjoy baseball live at the park, there's very little that beats it. But
You're right about that.
And the 1-2 misses outside. Now 2-2.
Looks like he's trying to get him with that high strike, get him to swing and miss.
He's fouled off the previous 2 before that. A breaking ball is ripped down the left field line, but foul. Out there towards the Trinity bullpen and all the guys standing up along the fence.
I would imagine Matthias Ritting is going to want to get that breaking ball down a little bit. It's a dangerous location for that pitch.
Yeah, already seen. Doesn't really look too windy out there, but Sawyer Haynes absolutely sent one opposite field a half inning ago. It's popped up foul out of play.
Yeah, I was out there earlier. It's pretty standstill. There's not much wind, so really had to get behind that one.
And the debut of Matthew Azordigan, he is ready to go. One thing I've noticed, he's very quick back into ready to pitch.
Yeah, it does seem like he's working very quickly.
We got a full count now.
And we saw that the other day with Babson. Their pitcher worked really quickly, and it was really hard for Trinity's hitters to adapt to that.
And Claw will take the leadoff walk. He'll be the first base runner of the afternoon here for the Cougars. That'll take us to Tyler Stone. Stone 316 on the year. OPS just slightly under 900. And an opportunity here to put Kane back in a position to reclaim some of the runs that they gave up. First time we'll see Azordigan out of the stretch. Over. Keep Clow relatively close. He was already relatively close.
Pretty close to the bag, but I think he's just checking to make sure he's not going to go anywhere. Help out Matthias there.
If you can get a guy to just take one more step closer to the bag, that's a lot of times the difference.
I think most of the time it's the difference. It's that one step that leads to a free bag or an out.
Riding behind the plate here today, and he's already shown throughout this series that he can fire it down to second. A couple of caught stealings back on Friday night. Now the 2-1. Jam shot right at Anderson. He'll make the play, tries to go back to first, but Will Baker puts the brakes on the throw as Clow was getting back just in time.
Yeah, as you were saying, Matthias, he's got a pretty solid arm throwing down to second. But as a former catcher myself, I can identify with, it doesn't matter how quick your pop time is. A pitcher that's not paying attention to the runner, it's pretty much impossible to throw him out. So it's good that Azordigan's taking a look at him.
Throw back over before Dan Risley will get his first pitch. 257 on the year, does have a home run. That was on Saturday. So pretty solid control from Azordigan in the first inning. And wasn't throwing a whole lot of balls, probably 70% strikes, and now looks like he's not missing the zone, but it's not necessarily all strikes here on this.
That can sometimes happen when you're warming up and you're focusing more on the windup, and then you switch to the stretch and you're not as used to it. It takes a couple pitches to adapt to it. That might be potentially what we're seeing, but
strong debut here for the Tiger righty.
Many guys I know prefer the windup. I know that Brandon Morio actually refuses to throw out the windup. He only throws out of the stretch. Some guys like it. It's the same time, same.
The 1-2. This is quite off the plate now, 2-2, and
Looks like that one slipped out a little bit.
maybe trying to go high and then low, maybe induce a double play ball. See where this one's at. They'll get the swinging strikeout instead. They were 2 down.
There's that back foot curveball. I believe that's exactly where Matias wanted that pitch. It was really good placement.
Brett Hilsheimer will come up now with 2 down. 214 on the year, but the bottom half of the lineup had done damage for Kane the previous 2 games. So see how this different lineup here, 7, 8, 9, a little bit different here in this game than we've seen in games 1 and 2 of the series. Two down runner at first. The same situation Trinity had half inning ago when they took the lead. And the 1-0. Couldn't quite get it as it misses inside.
You're mentioning the lineup change, and it is always nice to see coaches doing something similar to what our own Coach Scannell does, where it's never the same lineup day to day. He always changes it, so guys always get an opportunity to play.
That one outside 3-0. And I think in the past, what it's done is it's really helped, and I kind of notice it with teams that do go pretty far in tournament season time, because now you've got a lot of guys who have a lot of game experience that late in the year, if somebody gets injured, they're not playing for the first time as the 3-0 is in there for a strike.
Yeah, you're absolutely right there. Having that depth, I mean, that's really one of the things the coaches were hopping on this year is when they got to the World Series last year, they just didn't feel like they had the same amount of depth as some of the other teams.
3-1, that'll miss low. We've got runners on first and second. Mike Colinello will step in. Colinello, 250 on the year. Got a runner in scoring position, and he takes a big hack at the first pitch and comes up empty. It'll be strike 1.
So is it Kane? Is that how you say it?
Kane.
Okay. Where is Kane?
Kane is in, it's right across from New York City. It's in upstate New Jersey. That'll miss for strike 2.
So another team coming down here escaping the cold, seems like.
Did get to see him. They arrived here Thursday. They played last Wednesday at home versus Arcadia. And looked like they called strike 3. That'll send us to the middle of the second. We'll pick back up on that Arcadia story when we return here in just a minute. Welcome back here. Bottom of the second, Michael Listina will step in. DH for the Tigers, batting in the sixth spot today. Check swing foul. The 0-1. No, I was saying earlier, got to see them last Wednesday play Arcadia, and it looked like, might have been somewhat chilly, a little bit chillier than what they're experiencing here this week, but didn't really seem like they were escaping cold. That'll be a shot into the right center gap. Listina with wheels is going to try to go for two, and he'll slide in safely. The leadoff double.
He can move.
Listina with one of the another extra base hit here for the Tigers. Not a very good location on the breaking ball. Listina all over it. I'll put a runner in scoring position now for Anthony Susha. Susha with 2 hits yesterday, or excuse me, on Saturday in his Trinity debut. 2 for 3, batting .667 currently. Looks at ball 1.
It's nice to see a freshman getting his looks, doing well with it.
Puts that one in play over to short. And making the play will be Messino. It'll be 1 down. Yeah, it's hard to come in and get extra base hit, or not extra base hits, but multiple hits in your first game and then keep that going early in your career. So we'll have to see how he progresses. I'll take us up to Pierce Matthews. Matthews, another guy who, when he first came up into the lineup for the Tigers a few years ago, was electric. Had raw power. Let's see if he can find some of that again. Big hack at that one, came up empty, 0-1.
Yeah, he does like to joke about how pretty much every time he comes up to bat, we bring up that big hit. But, it's a good one. It was a really cool moment, so.
I think instaunched into the Trinity lore, and that was one of those types of home runs that, when you bring a team all the way back, and it's the shot that does it. It's one that doesn't get forgotten.
It's one of those at-bats that we tell the freshmen when they come in. That's one of the first stories they hear about is that big game against Babson. Of course, I don't love to tell that story because the reason we had to get all those hits was partly because of me.
Well, you keep that part quiet. That one inside almost hits Matthews, but it'll be 2-2. So it was a lot of runs that day. Unfortunately, you were only credited with 1 against you, so it all worked out okay. It'll be 2 down after Matthews chases the high pitch inside. That'll take us to the 9 spot here in the Tiger order, and Matthias Riding. With the smooth operator walk-up song. See how smooth he can be with Listina on second. Check swing foul.
Been a pretty smooth operator this season. He's been a pretty competitive and reliable at bat for the Tigers.
Yeah, had some big shoes to fill with Listina, or excuse me, with Lazera leaving last year. But he was defensive replacement a lot of times, and now he's got that bat coming in. It's almost like year after year, Tigers catchers just continue to put up the big numbers.
Right about that. I know that they really liked his defense, and he's basically a wall back there, but I know that they were hoping that he would step it up a little bit in the offensive category, and he definitely has.
385, 6 runs, 4 RBI, and that one throw down to third, and it's going to be a stolen base for Listina. No. They got him. Home plate makes the call on that one, and that will take us to the third inning. So after 2, it's Tigers 2, Cougars 0. We'll be back. All right, welcome back for the top of the third, and thank you to Shepard for seeing what I wasn't seeing. There were 2 strikes on Writing. He struck out. That actually ended the inning, and therefore didn't even get the call at third. So it was a strikeout for Matias. And now back here with Kane as they settle in. It'll be Nick Sorelli batting .270 on the season.
Yeah, we were a bit confused up here. It's a little hard to tell from this booth, but we were wondering why the home plate ump was making the call, and then we looked back at some of the tape. And
yeah, it's a 2-man crew, and I was looking at the umpire in the field, and he just kind of nonchalantly was walking over, and then kind of was like, no big deal. And I saw the home plate umpire making an out call, and I was like, oh, maybe 2-man umpire, he's making the calls today. I don't know. But no, definitely a strikeout for Matias. And go from there. And now looking for another strikeout will be a Zorniga.
Yeah, like you said earlier, working very quickly.
Came into this inning with just a pitch count of 38. This is high and outside. Runs the count full. Has escaped trouble already. Escaped the leadoff walk in the second. Starting to make a habit of it. Another leadoff walk here. And that'll take us back to the top of the order with Dominic Messino.
And that's 2 back-to-back pitches that have gone awry, seemingly slipped out. It's not something we've seen from him today.
Pretty solid conditions out there, so see if it's just him trying to hit a spot early on. He was scheduled to be the starter yesterday, and I talked to pitching coach Dave Smith for the game, and he said we'd like to let him run a little bit, maybe 4, maybe 5 innings. We'll see where it goes. He was battling a non-throwing injury beginning of the year, so they kind of want to just let him come back into everything. So maybe the extra day helped a little bit. We'll see how it goes, but they're hoping to get 4 strong innings out of him. Look at maybe possibly going to the pen afterwards. I don't know if pushing the game back also does anything. The Tigers expected to play on Wednesday. So I don't know if now you're like, I don't know if we want to use the pen as much as we would have yesterday, or that changes anything there, but we'll see how far he goes. He's 1-1 here with Messino. Nice ball. Snagged down by Anderson. Fires over to first base, and a fine defensive play by Grant Anderson at third base.
That was impressive. It is nice to see a little bit. Starters getting the reliever treatment a little bit. Not exactly knowing when they're going to throw. It's always kind of up in the air for us relievers, and we never really get to plan, so it's nice to see it happens to some other people.
You don't get the warm-up period either. And one down now for Justin Teixeira. Teixeira into left center, but it hangs. And Kyle Singhania will make the play. Tagging on the play. Nice job doing so will be Sarali. And he's now at third base, so a wild pitch cuts this lead in half, potentially. Michael Simone steps in, 0 for 1 on the day. Struck out back in the first inning. Take strike one there.
Yeah, we were talking about the difference between starters outings and relievers outings, and it's that old joke that starters outings are properly constructed and well-maintained and well-planned, and our relievers outing is held together by duct tape and zip ties.
And oh, by the way, why don't you help fix what we've already messed up here early on, as you have to come into a game with the bases loaded or something like that.
Come in and clean someone else's mess. I think that feels worse if you come in and let someone else's runs score than getting your own runs to score.
Yeah, that whole team element is where that really comes in. You're like trying to supplant that. And that'll be a base hit into center field, and that will score the run. Michael Simone just over the reach of Jack Ramsey. Make it a 2-1 game.
And that's so frustrating as a pitcher because you beat him inside, you got him jammed, and he just gets really lucky with that placement just out of reach.
Yeah, you saw there from the center field camera how close that was with Ramsey. That one hung up for quite a while, but it does fall. Yeah, base hit for Simone, now 1 for 2. And more importantly for Kane, brings across the run. Claw.
That's the frustrating thing about baseball. It's pretty different than any other sport. You can do everything perfectly, and that can still happen.
That one hit out into right field. Matthews will field it, come up throwing, and that'll keep the runner, Simone, back at second. So now first and second with 2 down. The Tigers were that close to getting out of the inning, and now Kane with an opportunity to blow this one wide open. Believe we might have a pinch hitter. We're going to get a visit here from Coach Dave Smith. We'll see where that goes. Couldn't quite tell if the hitter was Stone wearing number 8. Kind of saw number 5. So we'll see if I just need to go get my vision checked. Good sign here, I think, unless Dave is just trying to stall for more warm-up time with the pin. But they wanted to see him, I don't know if they wanted to see him work through a jam, but now an opportunity to see how he responds in a jam.
I would imagine he's trying to get a feel of his psyche and how he's feeling, how he's thinking, and that can help him formulate a plan for the rest of the game. If he's feeling confident, if he's feeling able to get out of this, he might give him a little bit more leash if he's not feeling as confident, and maybe that injury is bothering him or something like that. He might try and warm up some other guys. Or maybe he's just telling them to calm down. I've had him do that plenty of times with me. He just comes up and says, hey, will you chill out?
And it is, in fact, Tyler Stone. Stepping in now at 2 down. First pitch rips into left field. That's going to one-hop the wall. The tying run is scored. And sliding in safely into third will be Clow. And it'll be runners second and third here as Tyler Stone, a game-tying RBI double. And Riceley will step in now. 2 on in scoring position, and well, he will find a different hitter. As in just a second, we'll see the RBI double here. We've got time while Coach Dave Smith comes out to make the pitching change. So we said again, our replay machine malfunctioning at best. It as we wind it back to get it in the right spot, it decides to turn off and then turn back on. See, just absolutely all over that pitch.
It looked like at first it was just a meeting with Matthias, but then Dave walked out there delayed. So maybe they weren't exactly sure about what they were going to do. But it seems they'll call someone else from the bullpen now.
And we'll take a quick break and join you back here in a moment and let you know who's coming in. And welcome back. We're still here in the top of the third inning. Runners on second and third with 2 down. And it'll be Jack Bassard coming in to try to settle this game down. 1-1 with a 1.5 ERA, and the first pitch missing for ball 1. And Riceley 0 for 1 on the day. First base open. Lefty-lefty matchup. That one skied into right field. Matthews giving charge. And he's got it, and that will put the wraps on the day for Zorniga. And that'll take us to the middle of the third inning. We'll be back here in just a bit from San Antonio. Welcome back here to San Antonio. Top of the order for the Tigers. That'll be Colin Singhania stepping back in. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Lucas White still out there for Kane. First pitch missing outside. It'll be 1-0. Fouled back, make it 1-1. Both teams doing damage with 2 outs here today.
Yeah, talk about 2-out rallies.
Trinity did it the quick and easy way. And Kane did it the methodical way of just pounding hits after hit. 2-1 in there called strike, 2-2.
I know that Coach Scannell likes home runs, but he definitely prefers the more methodical way, so hopefully he can coach him up.
Chasing the slider outside, and Singhania down on strikes for the second time today.
Seemingly a lot of strikeouts on both sides.
I'll bring up John Ramsey. Ramsey 400 on the year, struck out back in the first. White looks pretty focused in right now.
Seems like it. He's got a pretty good breaking ball. It seems like potentially he might have 2 different breaking ball pitches, one that's more vertical and then one that breaks a little bit side to side.
86-mile-an-hour fastball comes in, and Ramsey quickly behind 0-2. Just off the plate, make it 1-2.
Yeah, good job to lay off of that one for Ramsey. Really well-located pitch. Seems like he saw it coming.
Looks like it'd be a similar pitch here. That one gets the call.
Wow.
Down on strikes again will be Ramsey. Take another look at it. Yeah, it looks like it might have caught the plate on the front part of it.
That's really tough as a righty hitter because that pitch is breaking away from you and it looks like it's in the exact same spot as it was before, but just an inch or 2 closer, and that's the difference.
Well, Baker walked and scored back in the first inning. I don't know if I'd call out the rally starter taking the walk, but got the job done. Now he sends this one hard hit over to second. Making the play nicely, Solari. And that will do it for the Tigers in the third. We head to the fourth, still tied at 2. Top of the fourth inning, and it'll be Holsheimer here for the Cougars. Walked in his first at bat. Check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did. It'll be 0-2.
Here's Boussard working quick.
Fouled off on the first base side.
He's definitely going to want to bring that one lower. That's a dangerous spot to put that breaking ball, especially breaking towards a righty. It's exactly where they like to see it.
Beautiful breaking ball in there. Strike three, swinging. Jack Boussard came in, got the final out. Gets a strikeout to his credit.
Just 2 pitches for him last inning, is that right?
Yeah, just 2. Got the fly out to right field.
He's definitely working quick.
Mike Colanello, 0 for 1 on the day. Strikeout. Sorry, just pounding the zone now. 1-1. Lifted into right field. Matthews will settle under. There are 2 down.
It's nice to see he's got really good control of that breaking ball right now. Pretty much going exactly where he wants it to. That pitch seemed like he wanted it in the zone, a competitive, not a swing and miss pitch, but one to potentially either get a look at it or make him do something with it. The one right before that was a swing and miss pitch that he didn't get him on.
Nick Solari still 0 for 0, but drew the walk last inning, came around and scored.
Are they saying he pulled back on that?
I believe so. Lifted into right field area, and making the play will be Will Baker. Had to double check and make sure that he actually came up with that one.
Wow, we are moving.
3 guys coming together. You had second base and right field. Will Baker making the play down the line right before the bullpen area, and that will take us to the middle of the 4th, and we'll be back in just a bit. Bottom of the 4th here in San Antonio, and it'll be Sawyer Haynes. And Sawyer Haynes in his last at bat put the Tigers up 2-0. An opposite field home run, his first as a Tiger. Now leading off the inning.
Yeah, Josh, you made a really good point when we stepped away that this is not typically what you see out of a Game 3. Pitchers working really quickly, really well. Typically a Game 3, hitters have started to kind of figure it out. You see more walks and
fouled off on the left side. kind of wonder if the delay that we experienced yesterday maybe reset the situation, maybe put it back into like a pitcher's game.
Yeah, got the hitters out of the groove.
There's a lot of sitting around and waiting, especially the way that was. Supposed to play at 2, then move to 4, then move to 5:30, and then ultimately canceled. There was a lot of moments where you were going out, thought you were getting ready. We took BP early on. We had to stop. And then we thought we'd be, okay, maybe we'll get another warm-up time, but then ultimately we didn't. But we were out there pretty much every time we thought we were going to restart, the guys were out there an hour beforehand trying to get going. After
I was in that group chat, and I know that the hitters on Trinity side were definitely very frustrated with the situation.
Yeah, and ultimately the right call, the 2-2 count now. 2-2 on the scoreboard and 2-2 in the count. But ultimately, I think, as I was driving home last night, there was lightning all around the perimeter area of the ballpark, within the delay radius, within 8 miles. So it would have been really tough. I think we would have gotten started, played about 20 minutes, and then we would have been delayed probably for an hour, hour and a half, and that would have just not as good as just coming back out today. Inside, it'll be a walk to Sawyer Haynes. So 1 for 1, and he's been on twice.
Yeah, as frustrated as they were with the situation, I'm sure it's much better to try and play the game today instead of getting it in yesterday.
With the man aboard, it'll be Grant Anderson. His defense already coming through in this game. Great diving catch down the line and fire over and throw out the runner. For his first hit.
You know, Grant is actually one of the strongest guys I have ever seen. Have you heard about that?
No.
It is absurd. He got here as a freshman, and he came in, he started lifting, and everyone was turning their heads. Oh, my gosh, how is he doing that?
See if you can translate that into a swing. And Haynes running on the play. That one was hard hit enough. That should have been 2, but Haynes will force the throw over to first as he's in safely at second. So possibly a hit and run. Although Tim's okay with stealing bases. He'll send guys all the time.
Oh, yeah. I like how he gives them the green light a lot of times so they can kind of use their own autonomy, decide to go if they have a good look.
Michael Estina led off the second with a double. Now he's got a man standing at second. See if he can replicate what he did the last time. Takes low for ball 1.
Looks like White is heavily using that breaking ball pitch.
Had good control of it last 2 innings.
It's been working well for him.
And you mentioned earlier he's got the up and down breaking ball and then the right to left, more of a slider, curveball slider situation, but he's working them in tandem enough to where you feel like you're getting one and it breaks the other way. And then every now and then he just does that and just
comes back with one right down the middle, and it seems like it has that slight bit of arm side run, but it looks so much more because of you've been seeing all those breaking ball pitches.
Slight mental advantage. That one grounded out to short. Throwing over will be Messino. 2 down, but a runner on third. So the second game here for the Tigers, Anthony Susha. 0 for 1, 2 for 4 in his early career. Chance to get his first RBI.
Interesting to see him out there in left field. He's more of a catcher. I don't know if you mentioned that before. I know he's got a couple of my bullpens, and guys like to see him behind the plate, but I guess he's pretty athletic, so.
Yeah, they like his bat enough, and they just feel like they got to get him into the lineup somehow. And fouls that one back 0-2. So, you got Writing, pretty much every day catching. You got Moss filling in. So I feel like maybe they're just like, if we can get him in somewhere.
Yeah. That's that old coaching adage. If you hit good enough, they'll put you somewhere.
Nick Jones, who started the first 8 games of the season, first 9 games of the season, getting a little bit of rest and relaxation. He was one of 2 players, him and Will Baker were the only 2 to start the first 9. So Nick Jones normally out in left field or DHing, getting a little bit of time off.
That's kind of the same situation we see with Lustina, is that he's a really good bat, and so even when they're not using him at third, they still want to have him in that lineup.
Here the Kane side getting into it on the 1-2. That misses up high. The 2-2. Good job there by Suchez. I felt like that one was probably looking to be a called strike 3.
Yeah, good job to fight that one off.
Trinity's had probably enough called strike 3s to last them the whole year.
I am sure Coach Scannell would say so.
Lost 2 one-run games with being called strike 3 looking to end it. And we have a count will run full here with Susha.
Yeah, a lot of coaches will say, if you're going to get out, at least do it well, you know.
Gotta go down fighting. That one chopped foul.
Is that the Kane side that we're hearing, or?
Yeah, it'll be the Kane side. We've got the, I believe that's what the mics would be picking up first.
It's interesting to see. I know that typically when Trinity pitchers are out there, you know, they'll chirp for him and they yell out to him, but they're not typically making a ton of noise because they want him to focus on that bat. So interesting to see the Canes not doing the same thing.
That one ripped into left center. And camping out underneath will be Canelo, and that will do it for us here in the 4th. So we'll go to the 5th, still tied at 2 here in San Antonio. Top of the 5th inning, and it's Jack Broussard who's in relief, still out there for the Tigers. And Dominic Messino, over 2 on the day, steps in looking for his first hit. Third time through the order now for the Cougars. And the first 2 are in there for strikes. Sorry, missing outside. 1-2 now.
He's working very quickly, but definitely not where he wanted that breaking ball.
Riding trying to frame it, but that one felt like it was pretty well off the plate.
Yeah. I would imagine he was trying to get a back foot in that location, but it's always hard to do a lefty throwing to a righty because you got to worry about not doing it too much and hitting him.
Starting off 0-2, the count's now full. That one floated into center. Sanghania will corral, and there's one down. Messina will give way to Teixeira. And Justin Teixeira 0 for 2 as well. Top of both teams' orders, really not getting the job done today. That one fouled off the netting. First two hitters for Kane, 0 for 5. First two for Trinity, 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts. One after the breaking ball fails to break. On the ground, up through first and second base. And that'll be the first base hit of the day for Teixeira.
That's that difficult gap. I mean, that pitch was exactly where Matias asked him to put it. You could see him before signaling to him, trust it, throw it where we're going. Put it perfect and got what he wanted. It was a nice little ground ball, but just happened to squeeze right through that little gap. It's so frustrating for a guy on the mound.
Simone 1 for 2 with an RBI today. Take strike one. I feel like that's where pitchers just kind of have to be real good about just shaking everything off. Threw it exactly where it was meant to be. On the ground over to Anderson. He'll go to second, gets the first out, and it's thrown into, not into the dugout, but off of probably the netting of the dugout.
I think it was that brick,
the brick side of it.
Yeah, the brick side. It's nice to have that right there. The ball just kind of bounces back.
Yeah, the old configuration of Trinity's baseball field, that would have been in the dugout. So they do get the lead runner, so fielder's choice there for Simone. That'll give way to Claw, Jude Claw, and that one over to Ramsey. And another quick inning. We are through 4.5. We'll be back for the bottom of the 5th here in just a moment. Back here for the bottom of the 5th inning, leading off for the Tigers, Pierce Matthews. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout today. His customary large hack.
Yeah, maybe it's just the angle that we're at, but it looks like that was that more vertical breaking ball that he's been utilizing.
Comes back with it again. Deuces the chopper over to short. Messino will take care of it. And I think I've overused the word quickly already, so I'll have to find a thesaurus to
maybe
describe.
rapid.
Yeah, the rapid first out of the 5th.
Have to pull up ChatGPT, start getting more adjectives.
Might need them the way we're going. Writing will step in. 0 for 1. Struck out. He rips this one into left field.
And for lack of a better term, that was a very quick at bat.
One pitch, and we're moving on. And back to the top of the order with Callens and Hanya. And defensively, he's done a solid job replacing Woodward. He's been fantastic in center, and so you come in, do a good job defensively. That helps out quite a bit. But 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts here against Lucas White so far today.
Yeah, I talked to Woody a little bit about that, but do you know what actually happened that got him injured?
Not entirely. I know.
I believe he said it was something with his back.
Yeah, he's just been feeling stiff as far as I know. And then Cool got injured with a dive, I believe. So
Well, hoping for his quick recovery.
hoping that he can come back. They like him playing out in the outfield as well, Singhania. And that kind of goes to that depth that you're talking about.
Oh, yeah.
They didn't have last year that you kind of feel maybe they do this year. A couple of the guys.
Definitely better. But it's tough to see for Woody because he's one of those guys since his freshman year, he's barely missed any games. So I'm sure he's itching to get back out there.
Well, I was joking with Cole the other day that, like, when he hit the home run and we ended up winning the game, we moved to 6-4. Well, 3 of those losses, those 3 losses in a row, were all with Woody not in the lineup. And so the team is 6-1 with Caleb Woodward starting out in center.
It's a good luck charm.
0-3 without him in the lineup. So, you know, I don't know how you define MVP, but that sort of gives a little way to him being maybe valuable to what this roster can do.
Maybe it's just the red hair, the luck. Look at the Irish.
Whatever it is, we hope for a speedy recovery and hope that he starts feeling better. If it's a back injury, I can tell you, just normal back injury for me, just waking up being old.
You get a back injury every day.
Do not like all of that. Singhania down 1-2 here, trying to avoid the sombrero. And he looks at ball 2. And of course, with the schedule that we're playing, I mean, there's not a whole lot of rest time. Good hack to stay alive. Fouled it off. Tigers back in action here on Wednesday. They will not be the next game played here at this facility. That'll be Kane tomorrow. They take on Southwestern. Former Tiger assistant coach J.C. Bunch bringing the Southwestern Pirates in. So Kane doesn't have to do a whole lot of traveling. They can just stay here and play. And that'll be the 3rd strikeout of the day for Singhania. Ramsey.
That's that high fastball that he's been utilizing. We haven't seen him use it a bunch, but it's been really good when he has used it because he's been heavily utilizing those breaking balls. So when he comes back with that high fastball, it looks like it's going to be the same thing, and then it just doesn't drop.
Yeah, kind of forces you to have to readjust your eye level. You just can't do it in time. Back to having the bottom drop out of that one.
Of course, we know Cowan's going to be upset about that 3rd strikeout, but a lot of times when that happens with guys, they start to overthink and really doubt their ability at the plate. He needs to just stay confident and realize that happens.
And a lot of times it just takes one good swing to get you kind of back into it.
Sometimes they start to snowball, but Kean's a tough guy.
Better success stories getting back into. He worked his way back in, or worked his way into a roster spot, and then into a starting roster spot. Ramsey, whose defense has been superb today, lays off that one, now 2-1.
Yeah, you were talking about Singhania. He's definitely a really hard worker. I remember freshman year, he's probably the only guy that I knew that would work out outside of the team, not just, you know, getting ground balls and stuff, but he would go to the gym and lift outside of the team lifts, which those were plenty enough for me, so I don't know how he did that.
It's the type of dedication that both teams have needed to reach the College World Series. That one is going to be reminiscent of the Will Baker catch, and that will take us out of the 5th inning. Nice job there from Riceley as he makes the 3rd out of the 5th. We'll head to the 6th here in San Antonio. Top of the 6th inning here in San Antonio, and stepping in will be Stone. Stone, reason why we are level, had the RBI double off the wall in his last at-bat. His 10th RBI on the season. Down in the dirt.
2 back-to-back breaking balls, both missing on opposite sides.
Might have caught the umpire on the foot. Let's see.
I know as a catcher, you always feel so bad when that happens. 'Cause not only is your job to block the ball and make sure that it's not rolling around too much, but you're protecting that guy back there because all he's got is a little bit of padding. He doesn't have a glove or anything to protect him, so it's up to you.
We'll take a look here and see if it did. Oh, got him on the thigh.
Oh,
Yeah. So, and you can kind of tell. Had Writing, like the umpire kind of took his mask off and kind of stepped back for a bit, and then Writing went halfway out, not for a visit, but basically just out, and kind of got.
And I guess that
give
prompted
the umpire a little bit of time.
Yeah, and then that prompted the Dave visit to switch to, looks like that's Andrew Mason.
Yeah, there is a pitching change in the midst of all that, and probably not too surprising. Broussard came in relief and pitched, what was it? It was almost at 3 full innings. Let's see. Is Mason in for the Tigers?
You know, I went to high school with Andrew Mason.
Nice.
He was actually our best third baseman that we had there. But after I left, he switched to fully pitching. I don't think he does any more third base play now.
So your team gives us a lot of infielders,
Yeah.
and then we just convert you all to pitchers.
Well, he came and he wanted to be a pitcher. Yeah, I think he got recruited as both, but then I think he told both of the coaches, I don't want to play in the field anymore, I want to pitch.
Broussard on the day faced 8 batters and came in and got out of the big jam back in the 3rd inning. That was the big part of it. And he only threw 23 pitches, so it was working exceptionally quick. So we'll see how Mason fares. And technically, this could still be Mason's, or excuse me, could still be Broussard's hitter officially. As Mason comes in.
Yeah, that's that classic mid-at-bat pitching change that we know that Coach Dave Smith likes to do.
If he gets a strikeout, Mason gets to claim this hitter. If he walks him, it's not his fault.
So
With the 2-0 count. So
low risk, high reward.
Stone now 2-2. That one off the plate. Riding tried to frame it. And that was just probably about the ball's width, too far over. Now the full count. Sent on the ground. And Haynes will take it. Right over to Baker, and there's one down.
Yeah, and that low and outside pitch for a catcher is the hardest spot to frame because you're having to reach down away from you and then pull it back up.
Yep.
Everywhere else, you kind of have some help from either gravity or just the movement that your arm is doing, but that's the only one that you have to reach down and then pull it back up. So it's really, really hard for a catcher to do.
Riceley 0 for 2 today. Yeah, you have to have incredible forearm control to kind of, maybe wrist control to kind of do it without making it look extremely obvious.
Yeah, I know catching coaches always teach you don't want to look like you're framing it. You don't want to look like you're moving it.
Yeah.
You want to look like you're just catching it where it is and it's not moving at all.
Jammed. Shallow right. Haynes will make his second play of the half inning. There are 2 down. Mason came in and looked pretty sharp, so talking about the bullpen looking pretty good this year for Trinity. Had Broussard come in and
A lot of depth.
looked excellent. Now giving way. This will be Hilsheimer 0 for 1 on the day with a walk.
We're also seeing a lot of young guys that got opportunities last year as freshmen or sophomores and are now entering that role of a veteran a lot earlier than they would have anticipated.
That was a good job there from Riding. Did exactly what I think you said. He caught it,
Yeah.
didn't make it look, but as he pulled the glove downward to kind of take it back to him, he kind of held it just a split second, made it feel like it got in a little bit lower.
I had a coach tell me that you don't want to make it look like you're moving it because you're trying to build that rapport with the umpire. So if he sees that you're moving it a ton, he's going to get frustrated and think that you're trying to trick him.
Yep. 1-2, and this one floated out. Right field, I think it's going to be Matthews, and it is.
He's definitely gotten his work over there.
Yeah. Well, I'm out of words to say it, but that was a 1-2-3 inning. So we'll head to the 7th, or the bottom of the 6th, excuse me, and we'll be back in just a bit. And welcome back. Bottom of the 6th here in San Antonio. Will Baker steps in for the Tigers. Baker with a walk and a hit today. Came around, scored a run on the Sawyer Haynes home run. Excuse me. He had the hit. I was thinking he walked to get on the first time before the home run, but he had that hit to center. That's why he's 1 for 2. Third at bat of the day. Skies this one to left. There's one away in the inning. Stone out there patrolling left field, getting the out. Sawyer Haynes now for Trinity. He sends this chopper up the middle. Handled nicely by Massino.
Just a little bit more to the right, and I think he gets on.
He's done a great job here the last couple of games, putting the ball in play. Grant Anderson.
Yeah, like I was saying earlier, Grant, he's really, really strong guy, and he's one of those guys when you come out during BP, you see him putting balls over the fence effortlessly.
Had a big game last week on Tuesday night in Seguin against TOU.
He's really good at translating that strength into his swing. That's one of the things that Coach Scannell preaches is forearm and grip strength, so that even if you're not able to get the full torque into your swing, if you can just get the bat to the ball, your arms will help you out and give you enough power to do something with it.
There's that right to left breaking ball here from White. Now ahead 1-2. Chopper over to third, and that will allow Anderson to get on. His counterpart, Hilsheimer, not able to field it.
Looked like it squeezed through just barely there. sure that White will be a little bit frustrated about that. He's done so well over these couple of innings.
Gave up back-to-back hits with 2 outs in the first. And that's really been it. He's given up 2 hits since. Mike Listina up. First pitch swinging, fouls it off. 255 RBI and a home run on the year for Listina, but Tiger fans will remember for what he did late April and May of last year. Helped propel the Tigers late in the season. Throw back over to first. Anderson back in plenty of time. Stevie comes up empty, now 1-2.
That is something interesting that we see from Mikey. I don't know if you've noticed it, but a lot of times when he steps up and he's about to swing, he's getting ready for the pitch, you can see him, he's smiling. It's pretty unique for him. He doesn't do it all the time, but.
And White with the, ooh, I'll take that. Right back at him. Nice play to end the 6th inning. We'll head to the 7th and be back here in just a bit. Top of the 7th, Andrew Mason still out there for Trinity. Stepping up to the plate for the Kean Cougars will be Mike Colonello. 0 for 2 today. Strikeout, and he's left 2 on. Mason hits 87. Teams have split the opening 2 games of this series, so here Kane kind of getting into it now. Count 2-0. The longer this goes, the more they think they can take one from the currently #1 ranked team in the country. That'll most likely change, but take the series from them on the road. MPI has come in the last year, and then of course being prevalent this year for playoff seeding. And it's good to see a lot of programs still trying to square off against great teams. 4-pitch walk. Colonello to get us started.
You can definitely hear the Kane dugout really excited about that one up here.
Action off to the left side of that other screen. Trinity warming somebody up in the bullpen. Solari in. before Solari will get there, we might see who was warming up. No, this looks like a, won't call it a delay tactic. Conversation for now. I believe this will be Mason's first appearance on the year. His stats didn't say that he had any innings pitched, so I don't think he's thrown. No, the stats are off. He's 0-1, pitched 5 1/3 so far this year. So Solari will step in against Mason.
See if he can come back here after that 4-pitch walk. It's like a breaking ball low. It's hard to tell if it was a breaking ball or just a fastball, but
Crowd in the
it's like Dave will make a change here.
The fans in the back were trying to get a ball 5 going. It'll give way. See who is come in for Trinity. So he gets checked first.
Joey Hagan.
Joey Hagan. So we'll step away for just a bit. He'll warm up and we'll return in just a moment. Joey Hagan, 1.35 ERA on the season, just under 7 innings pitched. He'll come in. His task with a runner on will be Solari. You're talking about the Kane dugout getting super excited. This might be their inning to strike. Runner on, nobody down. See if they can get something going here with the bottom half of the lineup. Good job for Hagan to come in and get a strike. After 5 consecutive balls from Mason. Come in and spelled Broussard in a pretty solid way. Showing bunt. That'll miss, count 2-1.
It was a pretty short leash for Mason. Came out to get him pretty quick. Maybe that's, I know he had a little bit of arm trouble earlier in the elbow, so maybe they were trying to save him from that.
Missing way up high, and now the Trinity bullpen had been solid to this point so far. Danger of putting two aboard with nobody out and then having to face the top half of the lineup. Sino waits on deck at the leadoff spot. The 3-1 in for strike two.
I was talking to Cole about it the other day. The 3-1 pitch is the most difficult pitch to throw for a pitcher because 3-0, batter's likely not going to swing if it's not right down the middle. But 3-1, the umpire signaling something out.
He's saying that Hagan didn't engage with the hitter, but the hitter kept turning it away and looking at the dugout. So that'll be ball four. I don't know if everybody lost track of the count. 2 on, nobody out. Top of the order for Messino. 0 for 3 today. Managed to put the ball in play all 3 times. Shows bunt, gets it down. Hagan fields. Take the out at first. So second and third, 1 down.
Solid PFP there.
Yeah, and a good job here from Trinity. Get the out.
Yeah, just take the out. Don't try and. A lot of times they coach us, pitchers, how to try and maybe get that out at third. But the big thing is just get the out. Don't cause any stupid mistakes. We can afford on a bunt to get 1 run scored and battle back with the hitters. But what we can't do is blow 3 runs because you throw a ball awry.
This one lifted, right field going back. Matthews looking up, and it is a 3-run shot here from Teixeira, and Kane has the 5-2 lead. Justin Teixeira here. First pitch swinging right into the right center gap. He knew it off the end of the bat. I'm not certain, but I think Kane might have just gotten a warning for their bench. I'm not sure. They had a bunch of guys out to receive Teixeira. So
Yeah, might have been language. I think I could hear a little bit of language coming through, and I know that the umps are not going to want to be hearing that coming from the dugout.
That would make a little bit more sense. Now, Coach Scannell out talking to the umpires about it. The only other thing I can think of is if somebody was saying something directly to the Trinity side. I know that this weekend, Friday and Saturday, there have been some chirping between the two teams. Not uncommon when you've got 2 top 10 teams facing each other.
Something unique about Coach Scannell, though, is a lot of times he will get on the umpires for making calls and decisions that favor Trinity.
Right.
When he doesn't think that they are correct. So he doesn't care if it helps out Trinity or he just doesn't want to see bad umping. So it looks like he might be telling the umpire right now, hey, leave him alone, you know. They're going to chirp, let him chirp, something like that.
It could be whatever it is. I think they've said their piece and they're moving on. So now it'll be Simone. And a new game, and he lifts that one over the head of Ramsey, and that's a base hit. And those quick innings are in the past.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And this is the hard part we see from sort of a bullpen day. And the difference that we're seeing between the both teams, because Kane, they have White, and he's been going for several innings, and he's gotten into a groove. He's going to be hard to beat.
And Klaus sends that one into orbit, and it's now 7-2. Two home runs allowed here in the 7th inning. And Kane has pushed this to a 5-run game. First pitch is right down the middle of the plate.
Turned on that one.
He's hit the ball hard all day.
Might have hit the bell tower.
We got a pitching change here in San Antonio. We'll be back. Still top of the 7th, one down. It'll be Carter Aldman coming in, 0-1, 7.5 ERA on the season. We'll be looking to try to get something back under control here for Trinity. As he faces Tyler Stone. Stone 1 for 3 on the day. The game-tying RBI double back in the 3rd inning, but that was a long time ago. Kane has broken this one open with 2 home runs here in the 7th. 3-run shot and a 2-run shot. Teixeira with the 3-run homer and Clow with the 2-run shot moments ago. That one missing inside, 1 and now 2-1. Had been a spot that had been roughly called for a strike early on in the game.
Yeah, I know that's that changeup that Carter really likes to throw. He loves that pitch, and it's got a ton of movement, but sometimes it breaks out of the zone.
That one's going to hit Stone.
Looks like he went back to it there, just a bit too inside.
And Risley will step in. 0 for 3 on the day. It's that 2 through 5 spot to Shara Simonin. Wow, that's really killed Trinity today. They're combined 6 of 11 with 6 RBI.
It's good that even in this tough spot, Carter's still looking at the bat or the runner, making sure they're not.
Stone swiping second.
That's tough because a lot of coaches teach that the best time to steal is right after the pitcher picks off, because they just picked off. They're probably not going to do it back to back.
And now a visit from Tim. Have you gotten the visit from Tim?
I actually have not. I've never gotten a Coach Scannell visit.
It's never really about the pitcher itself.
It's not.
It's about the situation of the game and where it's gone. Because I have a feeling that right now he's like, we just need to throw strikes.
Yeah.
Like you know, don't worry about anything else. You know.
Hard thing for a pitcher is, well, Coach, what do you think I'm trying to do?
Yeah, exactly. But he's like, I think there are certain parts of the game where Tim is like, I don't want to dance around the strike zone anymore. I just want to, if they're going to hit it, let them hit it.
Yeah.
And we'll do our best to field it. Kind of go from there. Risley with the 2-0 count. Now Stone at second. Waldman delivers, and it's 3-0. Almost feels like he overthrew that one.
But I have heard from the other guys that the Coach Scannell mound visits are an ethereal experience, to say the least.
Ball 4, and we've got runners at first and second. The case of the very, 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 very bad 7th inning continues for Trinity pitching. Hellsheimer 0 for 2. Second time here in the 7th inning that we've had somebody throw 5 consecutive balls on the mound for Trinity.
I know that they like to call that play, that pickoff to second, that timed pickoff, as a way for pitchers to kind of reset and sort of refocus.
Gets the call there.
Yeah, it looks like it worked.
I'll take anything at this moment.
Yeah. Interesting, though, that was that changeup that he's been throwing that he missed inside with a couple times.
That one gets away to the backstop up off the netting, and that will allow the base runners to advance 90 feet. Now you got 2 in scoring position. And it takes away the double play opportunity.
That's difficult for Matias because, similar to an offensive lineman in football, you can do everything right the whole game, but one ball gets by you and people are going to be frustrated about that. He's been so good blocking pitches and keeping everything in front of him today. That one ball that gets by allows the runners to advance. He's had a lot of balls in the dirt to work with, but he's done a really good job so far keeping him in front. That one scooted by him, though.
3-1. Chop back up the middle. Run will score. Sawyer Haynes makes the play over at first. Fantastic defensive effort. Make it 2 down and maybe give Trinity a little bit of hope that they can get out of the 7th inning without it tailing into something absolutely dreadful.
And he's been such a bright spot for the Trinity defense this year. Remember the last game I called with Cole, he was brought in late in the game, and it was a hard-hit ground ball up to him over at second, and he realized he wasn't going to be able to feel it cleanly, so instead he kind of, similar to a catcher, just used his chest and knocked it down. I'm sure it left a pretty solid welt, but he made a really, really solid play.
Colanello now down 0-1. Shows bunt, and that'll be strike two. It's kind of I think that's probably what the coaching staff's kind of looking for, is getting back to the fundamentals of the game and finding guys that are willing to find ways to just make plays. Not getting the call there, and it'll be 1-2.
It's like both Matias and Carter wanted that. I think Matias is talking to the umpire saying, hey, where did you have that? Because I had that.
When you ask the umpire the question, do you ask how far was that off? Because obviously it's outside. Like if he's not calling it there, then obviously it's outside. So you just is it how far did it miss? Like was it close type of deal?
It's a mix of things. It's kind of dependent on where the pitch is. You think it hit him?
I'm gonna say that did hit him. Normally, if the batter doesn't assume. Got a replay machine stuck again, so we'll give it just a second here. I do want to see if it rode up. Maybe, yeah. He went back to the ump and said it did, so.
Also, typically when he comes around like that, they say it's foul ball because that was part of his swing path, but I guess that's up to the umpire there.
First and third, 2 down for Solari for 1 on the day. Scored 2 runs, though, with 2 walks. Runner goes.
Early steal.
Force Aldman to step off. Situation to maybe steal a run here, because if you can score the run before you get the out, then it'll count. But a 6-run 7th already for the Cougars. That went in for a strike.
Yeah, so when a catcher is asking the umpire where it is, it kind of depends on where the pitch is. So if it's pretty solidly in the strike zone and you think should have been a strike, you might ask him, hey, where did you have that? Where did that miss? But if it's outside or inside and you know it's inside or outside, you'll either say, how far off was that? And then if it's a 50-50 call that they give you, you say, is that as far as it's going to be? So you kind of have an idea of where their strike zone is in relation to where your eyes are seeing it.
Fouled off, and now Aldman ahead 1-2.
Seeing a lot of movement over at first. He's tried that early steal a couple times, and there he goes again. Looks like Carter thought he was going to go back like he had a couple times, and so he just threw it over to first to try and get him, and he didn't.
You have the 1-2 count, so if anything.
Yeah, I'm sure Matias is signaling up to him, hey, just focus on this guy. Got him 1-2, way ahead in the count.
I'm wondering if the conversation here is if they're going to try to get a because he threw over to first when the runner wasn't going back. With all the new pitching rules, I don't know if there's because you have to throw to second if you make the motion to second, right?
Mm.
So I don't know if there was anything with that. But that is a strikeout, and Aldman will eventually get Trinity out of the inning, but a 6 spot put up here for the Kane Cougars, and they now lead this one as we head to the stretch, 8-2. bottom half of the 7th, and it'll be Susha stepping in for the Tigers. Anthony Susha 0 for 2 today. Fouled off, was 2 for 3 yesterday, or Saturday. And speaking of yesterday, we were rained out, and we thought that playing this game now would be a different story as Susha sends that one into center. Horn there for Canelo. And there will be one down, but our weather app here that we use to evaluate the lightning situation has just informed us that we are now within 12 miles of a lightning strike. And that's all looks to be coming right at us. Pierce Matthews stepping in.
And what is the threshold again for a delay?
8 miles is for the delay.
8
so
miles.
We'll have to just had another one ping at 11.8, so it is getting closer. So I hate to be that guy. There's a chance that we have a little bit of a delay here, but we'll see.
I'm sure that'd be really frustrating for White here. He's had a really solid day of work. Have that delayed by lightning.
Yeah. Now, the good news here for Kane is these storms, as they approach the heart of San Antonio, where all the pavement is, typically will have a breaking up process. It's very rare that a storm, especially a smaller one, will kind of go right through the city. A lot of times they break up when they start to hit different environments here of the city. So we'll see how that progresses. But that's called strike 3, and they're 2 down.
Guess that's the expanded 2-strike zone that you see sometimes.
You know, and honestly, if somehow Trinity is able to get quick inning again, Kane may not have to worry about this too much. Get back into those quick innings. Matthias Riding, 1 for 2.
Speaking of White, as we were talking about him, we were talking last inning about how after a long inning of hitting, a lot of times a guy that's been going for a while might not come back out. But, I mean, he's at 102 pitches, and he's still working.
Still working, still firing, and now 0-2 again.
We haven't seen a velocity drop from him either, which is really impressive. It's one of those days that kind of just have to tip your hat.
6 2/3, allowed 4 hits, 2 runs, both earned. Happened on back-to-back hits in the first inning with 2 outs. And he strikes out 2 to end the 7th. We go to the 8th. It is Kane comfortably in front. Welcome back. Top of the 8th inning here in San Antonio. Carter Aldman set to face off against the leadoff hitter Dominic Messino. 0 for 3 on the day.
Looks like a new catcher in the game. Is that Yaz?
Let's take a look. I don't think it caught the. $20-something.
Yeah, that's Yaz, the impossible last name. He goes by Yaz because no one can say his last name. I don't think I even know his first name.
It's Braden. So we'll just call him Braden.
I didn't know that.
Yazazawa. And that one rolled over to Ramsey at short. Messino retired. They've done so today 4 times. However, this is the part of the order that Trinity has not done well with. Teixeira, Simone, and Clow combined 6 for 11. They've done the damage here against Trinity. Teixeira 2 for 4, 395 average now. He looks at strike 1.
It is interesting how that happens sometimes. You meet a guy on the team, and he only introduces himself by his nickname, and you never hear anyone call him by anything but his nickname. So then one day you realize, I don't actually know his actual name.
Somebody starts talking to him in reference to his actual name, and you're like who's that guy?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Who are you talking about?
Chopper back up the middle. Nice pitcher fielding his position from Aldman, and that'll be 2 down in the inning.
There's that classic athletic play from Carter that we see so often. He jokes with me that pretty much every time he's out there and he makes a PFP play, they make a comment about how he originally came here as a position player. I think he was a shortstop / third baseman. It's pretty funny that he has a lot of athletic plays. He seems to do that pretty much every time he's out there.
Facing off against Michael Simone, 2 for 4 on the day. Had the RBI back in that 7th inning. Or excuse me, I think he had an RBI back in the 3rd inning when they got the first RBI of the game. Shara's last at bat before that chopper back to Aldman was the 3-run bomb that gave Kane the lead.
Yeah, he was the one separating at bat between the 2 home runs.
That one up the middle, diving attempt past Ramsey into center. Put Simone aboard for the 3rd time today. He goes 3 for 5. And that'll bring up Clow, the catcher. Sent an absolute no-doubter to left field his last time up. Yes, taking care of the equipment. That one missing low. Strike in, throw down to second. Sawyer Haynes will do a good job of just making sure that doesn't get into center. Still on base for Simone.
And that's always hard as a catcher because you have to decide whether or not you focus on making sure that you get the strike call or if you focus on throwing down and He makes the decision there, focuses on getting the strike call, but still throws down in a decent amount of time, but guy made it.
That one sent out to right field. Matthews giving chase, has a play on it. And the Tigers out of the 8th inning, relatively unharmed. That'll take us to the bottom half of the 8th here in just a moment. We'll be right back from San Antonio. Welcome back to San Antonio. Bottom of the 8th inning. Cal Singania lead off here for the Tigers, leading off the 8th. For 3 on the day. We do have a new pitcher in for Cougars.
We finally see a pitching change here for Kane. That solid day of work from White.
Jason Basilicata. 3.0 ERA in 3 innings pitched so far. 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. And he's got Singania down 0-2 early. And I feel that we are moments away from being in a delay. So we'll see how close that storm continues to come.
Do we have a ping on our most recent?
We have a ping within 10 miles. So at 8 miles, we clearly feel it. So it is getting closer. This one ripped up to center field, but good play on it will be Colonello, and there's one down. And we got some pinch hitters coming in now for the Tigers. Cam Champness will step up to the plate. Just 250 on the season, but he's hit well in some big spots in years past.
It's one of those guys that typically hits better in clutch situations, similar to like Will Baker. It's interesting that Kane brought in this new pitcher. He's a similar archetype, but he's a little bit more 3/4, tiny bit more velocity, but he's got the similar breaking ball that's been working so well for them today.
Yeah, it's one of those things they probably wish they would have realized in game 1 of the series. Have guys come in and kind of confuse the Trinity hitters a little bit. Now Champness down 0-2. It'll be a defensive replacement at short for Ramsey as well. Champness down on strikes. And we'll continue with the clearing of the benches here for Trinity. Alex Richardson. His debut for Trinity. Trying to go 1-2-3 here in the inning. Starts off with a strike. And he pounds in another one, 0-2.
Looks like he's working with a two-seam as well as a four-seam. That one had a lot of movement arm side. As we know.
On the outside here.
Good to lay off of that one. Richardson in a big spot here. I know he had that injury last year that he was dealing with, so hopefully he can have some success.
Down the middle, called strike 3, and that'll do it for the 8th. We'll be back for the 9th in just a bit. Top of the 9th inning, still Carter Altman out there for the Tigers on the mound. Then it'll be Jack Henning going into second base. And a couple of other defensive replacements. Cam Champness over at first. I believe we have a new left fielder as well. We'll check on that. Stone in for Kane, 1 for 3 on the day. Champness at short and Henning over at second. That one inside. 2-0.
Yeah, like we see so often from Coach Scannell, he likes to bring in guys late in games, see if they can do something. Mount a comeback. So often we see that from him, is giving guys opportunities that typically are not the starters at the beginning of the game, but late in the game, trying to change it up, give a new guy a look. Like you were talking about earlier, it gives us that depth late in the season where guys that typically wouldn't have a lot of in-game experience, getting that experience early on in the season.
Into left field. So far, those are the only defensive changes here for Trinity. missing inside. So the leadoff man aboard. And so far, looking at the radar, the storm cell crossed into the 10-mile radius zone from where we are, Trinity, and lost all of its power. And all of the lightning was right at that 10 miles in. So it just stayed outside so far.
That's good for us. That's very good for us.
It'll be great because if we get a lightning strike from this cell where it's at now, we will be in a delay. So Riceley stepping in with a man on. Foul the first pitch back. Breaking ball misses, evens the count at 1.
Aldman today, we've seen a couple walks from him, but they haven't been bad misses, is what we're seeing. He's had a couple that have gone awry, but most of them have been pretty close competitive pitches. Just get a couple more, a little bit closer, and he'll.
Runner goes, swing and a miss. And the throw down will not be in time.
Good job by Champness to just knock that one down. It's a difficult hop. I think that's one of the hardest plays to make in baseball is that throw down to second. You're running over. You're having to read where the ball is going to be because you're not there yet. And then when you get there, you then have to use both your body and your glove to knock it down because if it goes in the outfield, that's an extra free bag. So good job by him to knock that one down.
Have some sort of a discussion here with Kane. They've sent the runner back. See if our replay machine works long enough to figure out what might have happened. And here's the play. Looked like a clean steal attempt. No interference. No. Oh. Oh, they called time. Riesling called time, I believe. Now the throw down. And the runner's safe again. So the hitter is Hilsheimer. I believe they have got Risley grounding out to the catcher unassisted in the box score. I'm trying to, sorry, I apologize everybody listening. I'm trying to look and see.
Did he
Did he
tip it?
Did he tip it, or did he, or was he called for like a time violation?
Sure. Did he have 2 strikes?
Thought he did. 1 and 2.
Because if he had 2 strikes and he didn't make contact with the ball, then that's just a strikeout.
I think they're saying he foul tipped it into the glove.
That would have been a very impressive play by Yaz back there to catch that ball.
Let's take a replay real quick. And here it is. And that's the home plate umpire making that call if that's what he did. He just gave the strike zone. Oh, did he call interference? Called interference.
Oh, that's what it is.
That's what it is. There we go.
Yeah, Yaz had to dodge him. Almost ran into him there.
All right, got a pitching change. Figured that out. It's 1 down in the inning. We'll be back here in just a minute. Into pitch now for Trinity is Caden Wells, the 3-0 count, misses, and that walk will be charged to Oldman. And now Wells officially into the game on this next at-bat. Nello will step in.
Caden, as we know, working off of that ever-present Tommy John injury, but doing really well recovery-wise. Had a couple outings. And
one hit over to Grant Anderson. It's got a chance to do two. Throw over to first is in time. And that will take Trinity to the bottom half of the ninth inning. Caden Wells coming in and getting the Tigers out of a jam. Now the bats need to come alive. They need some help. Down 6. We'll be back in just a moment. Bottom half of the ninth, and if the Tigers have anything to put it up now or head to 6-5 on the season, first look at it, it'll be second baseman Jack Henning, his first at-bat of the day. Rips one right to short. Messino throws over, and there's one down. The storm that we were talking about with lightning left all of its lightning just outside the detection zone. And we are probably about a minute away from getting a little bit of sprinkles, but it has dissipated severely since it started coming through San Antonio.
lucky for us, no more delays.
Yeah, well, the last thing we want is another delay here. Grant Anderson swings and misses with the first one.
See that one hit off of his foot, but the joke on the team is that Gert doesn't feel pain. So that one hit him in the foot, but he's not going to know it.
Super strong and doesn't feel pain. That's a little envious there. That one roped out into right center. And Grant Anderson's going to get something going alive for the Tigers. Just the 5th hit of the day and the first in a long time. That'll put a guy on now. Maybe something.
Tell you my favorite Grant Anderson story is I saw him at a Halloween gathering and he was eating a cactus. We don't know where he got it or why he was eating it, but he seemed to be enjoying it. So
Brandon Perry making his debut here. First pitch swinging.
it's like that was that two-seam breaking towards him just inside.
Yeah, just missed the bat. Silicata came in last inning, got 2 strikeouts, gives Kane 11 on the day.
I think that was 3 two-seams in a row. Went inside, then outside with it to break back into the zone, and then another one high and inside.
You'd expect something different, but does he come back with another?
And
Nope.
yeah, definitely something different.
It is different, but it's a similar result for Kane that they've seen all day. Another strikeout, their 12th. Silicata's 3rd.
Seems like good coaching of the breaking ball. We've seen so many good breaking balls coming from these guys.
Tigers' last hope for this one will be Jack Spence. Spence taking that one outside.
And that two-seam just rode a little bit too much.
Kane back in action tomorrow, 4 o'clock Central Time against Southwestern here at Trinity. Have that one for you. One outside catches the zone, 2-1. Trinity back in action Wednesday night, 7 o'clock versus Muhlenberg.
So we've seen all 3 of these pitches have been outside or somewhat low and outside, so we might see him come a little bit inside in the future here. Yeah, there's that 4th outside two-seam, so we might do what he just did in the last at-bat, come back with a breaking ball inside.
Tigers down to their final strike. That one ripped up the middle. Jack Spence will get the RBI single. Might be a case of too little too late here for Trinity, but they keep it going for now. Make it 8-3.
So we gave him another two-seam, and Jack Spence was ready for it.
Wow. Asking if they were going to even attempt to throw down. Spence takes off to run. Yeah, Matthews in a spot here. He's known for some of his late inning power. He's looked at the first 2 and he's behind 0-2. Down to their final strike once again. And it'll be another strikeout. And Kane will take the series with an 8-3 victory here. They take the series 2-1 over Trinity. And Trinity, for the first time this year, has lost a 3-game or more set. And they will fall to 6-5. Kane moving to 7-3-1. What a day it was for Lucas White on the mound. Absolute gem of a game for him. He went 7 innings, gave up 4 hits, 2 runs, both earned, walked 1, struck out 9, facing 27 batters. Silicata in relief, 2 innings pitched, gave up 2 hits, 1 earned run. He struck out 4. And 2 big home runs here for Teixeira and Clow for Kane, and for Trinity, a big home run for Sawyer Haynes. Take a look at those as we lead you out. Again, Kane back in action tomorrow versus Southwestern, and Trinity back in action on Wednesday versus Muhlenberg. So this will be Sawyer Haynes opposite field home run first, and then we'll see it from Teixeira and Clow. Thanks for joining us, and have a wonderful rest of your afternoon.